Hi, I'm William Freeman. I'm a Toastmaster and celebrant. When I discuss wedding planning with couples, I mention 4 topics. Firstly, think of your wedding, I say, as having 3 phases. There's the legal bit, the ceremony, and the celebration. And some of these, of course, can be combined. And the legal bit is fairly straightforward. You have to sign the wedding register at a licensed location and a few other little formalities, and that's it. Bob's your uncle. Or perhaps Bob's your husband. But that's fairly straightforward. Your ceremony can be a formal religious event, a registry office event, or a celebrant-run ceremony. And the celebrant ceremony has the unique features of being highly personalised, and it can be performed anytime, anywhere, at any location of your choosing, in the garden, on a beach, on a ship, wherever. It's also often used, in my experience, as an additional ceremony where a couple have got married abroad and they want to have something else back at home for the friends and family members who are here and couldn't travel to the event. So 3 bits to your wedding. The second thing I get people to think about is the choreography of the day. And by that I mean the flow of what happens and when. I mean, as a wedding couple, you're fairly busy with photographs and meeting people and so on. But think of it from the point of view of your guests. And think also about your older guests and indeed your younger guests. Think of the 2 extremes. What are these people going to be doing? What's going to keep them active and interested? Older people, a bit like me, will need to sit down from time to time. They might not want to wait till 8 o'clock at night to see the cake being cut. So all of these considerations need to be brought forward in your minds. You've also got to think about not just planning the choreography, but who's going to manage it. And that's the role of an MC and Toastmaster course. And it's a full-time job. You could say the hotel manager does some things, and he or she might, but do remember their responsibility is for the flow of food and drink. You could ask the best man or Uncle Jim. But both of these people probably want to enjoy the day and not have this additional overhead. And it can be quite an overhead to the inexperienced person. So you've got your 3-part wedding to think about. I talk with them, and the choreography. The third thing is what I refer to as the speeches dilemma. People say, I'm not a public speaker. Let's do them early and get them over with. And part of the problem is in the word speech, because that implies a professional performance of some shape or form. So I encourage people to forget the word speech. Instead, think of thanks and toasts, because that's what you're doing. You're thanking people for coming, you're thanking them for gifts, you're thanking parents, you might be thanking bridesmaids, or you will be best men, groomsmen, etc. So a fair number of thanks. And of course toasts, raising a glass to the health of the bride and groom. And when it comes to speeches, or rather toasts, I always recommend you do it after food. Don't do it early. People will be hungry when they sit down, and speeches go on longer than originally anticipated, inevitably. So do it after food, preferably after the main course has been served and cleared. That's my preference. You could also do it after dessert, but do it before coffee, because once coffee gets served, people see that as a reason to get up and go outside and have a wander. So that's speeches or toasts, and I can offer help in that area if you need it. And fourthly, choosing a Toastmaster or celebrant. I mean, we come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. I mean, I only come in one shape and size, but I think you know what I mean. There are a fair number of us. Hotels and locations have lists, and these are lists of people who can do a competent job. But you're not just after people who can do a competent job, you're after someone who can do it in the style that suits your event. So do feel free to look around. So that's it, the 4 points. The 3-phase wedding, the choreography of the day, the speeches dilemma, and the choice of Toastmaster or celebrant. Now, I've got workshops and Kindle books that add more detail on this sort of thing, and that'll come up in the next slide. But in the meantime, thank you very much for your time. Do get in touch if I can help in any way, and good luck.